In this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 hauntings across America. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for future updates. Let's jump right into the top 10 most haunted places in America. Please note, most haunted venues are open to the public, however, please confirm the location beforehand. Number 10. St. Augustine Lighthouse, St. Augustine, Florida. The lighthouse and the lighthouse keeper's dwelling have both been visited by ghosts. One of the most haunted spots in St. Augustine in Florida, according to many Floridians. Ghosts, apparitions, disembodied voices, and mysterious sounds are reported. When ghost hunters visited the lighthouse in Season 2, they captured a figure leaning over a railing within the tower. Ghosts, apparitions, disembodied voices, and mysterious sounds are reported. When ghost hunters visited the lighthouse in Season 2, they captured a figure leaning over a railing within the tower. The lighthouse is said to be haunted by the daughters of the man in charge of its construction. A young girl's ghost has been seen, and the sound of running up the lighthouse steps has been heard. The lighthouse keeper's building, now the gift store, is adjacent to the lighthouse. Previous lighthouse keepers reported weird sounds, lights flickering, and a man apparition in the basement. Number 9. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Weston, West Virginia. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is frequently mentioned as one of America's most haunted locations. This historic mental institution in West Virginia, formerly known as Weston State Hospital, was a place of much anguish and mental suffering. Built in 1858 to house up to 250 patients, the biggest hand-cut stone edifice in North America became suffocated by the 1950s, when nearly 2,000 people lived here. Hundreds of people perished due to brutal torture, including cages, chains, electroshock therapy, and even lobotomies. The grounds were also a Civil War military base, leading to several apparitions in Civil War costumes. However, the bulk of hauntings are triggered by former patients. Number 8. Myrtles Plantation, St. Francisville, Louisiana. Myrtles Plantation is the 8th most haunted property in America. This beautiful ancient property was erected in 1796 and is known as America's most haunted plantation by paranormal researchers worldwide. It's now a lovely B&B, yet it's said to have 12 spirits. Weird apparitions of children on the veranda, faces and figures in mirrors, mystery handprints, strange sounds, cold spots, footsteps, and disembodied voices have been recorded by visitors and staff. The most famous ghost in the house and grounds is Chloe, a slave girl. Her fellow slaves executed her after she failed to poison the housemistress. Her ghost is said to haunt the plantation ever since. Number 7. Crescent Hotel, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. The Crescent Hotel and Amp Spa in Arkansas is reputedly haunted. It was built in 1886 and is a Historic Hotels of America member. It began as a magnificent hotel, but declined and reopened as a girls' school in 1908. It was then employed by Dr. Norman Baker's fake cancer hospital. On the other hand, he was found guilty of fooling patients with ineffective treatments and exploiting their families. A man's ghost has been spotted and documented on a thermographic videotape in the mortuary where Dr. Baker conducted his experiments. In the lobby, a man with a mustache wearing a Victorian suit has been seen. Dr. Baker has also been observed. Number 6. Whaley House, San Diego, California. Whaley House, San Diego, one of America's most haunted homes. The Whaley House was built on the site of San Diego's first public hanging area. Thomas Whaley built this general store and granary in 1857. Whaley began hearing ghostly footsteps upstairs as soon as he moved in. Yankee Jim Robinson, who was hanged there in 1852, he believed. Others have reported hearing doors open and close, chairs rocking, and chandeliers swinging. Whaley's and his wife's spirits are said to haunt the mansion, bringing with them the scent of cigar smoke and perfume. Violet, Whaley's daughter, is claimed to haunt the house. Seen in a long dress upstairs in the back bedroom. Number 5. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The town of Gettysburg in Pennsylvania is ranked number 5 on the list of the most haunted locales in the United States. If you ask any paranormal enthusiast what is the most haunted town in America, Gettysburg is likely to come up first. Gettysburg, the site of the Civil War's deadliest fight, in which over 50,000 soldiers died, has remained one of the country's most haunted locales. The cries of men in anguish, cannons firing, and gunshots may all be heard on the battlefield, which is the source of the hauntings. Many of the incidents occurred near Devil's Den, a rock feature where many limbs and bodies were discovered after the war. The stories don't just focus on the battlefield. The ghosts of this historic conflict may also be found in hotels, houses, and businesses. This is the most concentrated region for ghostly activity in North America due to the amount of activity in such a tiny space. Number 4. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Louisville, Kentucky. The renowned Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky, is included on any list of the country's most haunted places. Built in 1910 as a tuberculosis hospital, it is estimated that over 63,000 individuals have died within its walls. Because of the absence of medical advancements at the time, many individuals died from tuberculosis. However, many of the deaths in the facility were attributed to alleged abuse and dubious experimental operations carried out on the patients. The amount of accounts of the paranormal is significant due to the high number of deaths and maltreatment of patients. After appearing on series like Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures, it gained a reputation as a haunted area. Incredible footage of a young boy named Tim strolling across the hall was captured on film. Full-body apparitions, transient shadows, disembodied screams, footsteps, and voices have also been reported. Waverly Hills is without a doubt near the top of the list of the most terrifying places to visit in the United States. Number 3. Emily Morgan Hotel, San Antonio, Texas. The Emily Morgan Hotel overlooks the Alamo Plaza in San Antonio, considered by many to be one of America's most haunted cities, the historic location of the Battle of the Alamo in 1836. It was built in 1924 as a medical hospital and is widely considered to be one of Texas' most haunted locales. Full-bodied apparitions and poltergeist activity are both common occurrences. Every year, a large number of paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics visit the Emily Morgan. The majority of them leave with either a renewed believing in spirits or stronger beliefs than before. Floors 3, 7, 9, 11, and 12 are known to be the most active if visitors want to have the best possibility of seeing a spirit. During its tenure as a medical hospital, some of these floors were utilized to treat mentally ill people. The apparition of an elderly woman in a hospital gown has been observed going along the corridors. Dark shadowy figures have been seen in apartments, as well as the apparition of a young girl sitting on the edge of the bed. Number 2. The Liska Axe Murder House, Iowa. The Liska Axe Murder House in Iowa ranks second on our list of the most haunted places in the United States. Many paranormal specialists consider it to be America's most haunted house. The Moores, their 4 children, and 2 of their children's friends were brutally murdered one by one with an axe one night in June 1912. The kids were between the ages of 5 and 12. It's a case that's been haunting the town of Liska for almost a century, and it's never been solved. Children screaming, footsteps, disembodied speaking, doors opening and closing, and lights inexplicably falling to the ground have all been reported as spirits haunting the house to this day. The house was recently restored to its original state, complete with no electricity or heating and furnishings dating from the Moores' stay there. Today, visitors can take a day or lamplight tour of the house, as well as an overnight in the chambers where the family perished. Number 1. Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Eastern State Penitentiary brings our list of America's deadliest locations to a close. If you were a criminal, you didn't want to be locked up in this former prison, which was built in 1829. Originally designed to hold up to 250 people, the prison eventually housed almost 1,700. Prisoners were subjected to heinous mistreatment, including being sprayed with freezing cold water and being forced outside in the dead of winter. Eastern State was the first jail of its sort, housing inmates in solitary confinement with their own yards, allowing them to have no interaction with other inmates. Pennsylvania system. Because this technique drove many inmates insane, it was abolished in 1913. The number of reports has increased, and several investigations have yielded some shocking evidence. Shadowy figures, demonic laughter, ghostly faces, voices, footsteps, and hammering noises have all been reported on a regular basis. Have you ever visited any of the mentioned places? Let us know in the comment box below. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Thank you.